Hello, happy Wednesday. I have some really exciting stuff to share with you, and you may have noticed that because I have tagged some very important people who are on this platform on this post, and you might be noticing they are sharing similar posts. We had a little meeting, I'd say a big important meeting, like a life-changing emergency meeting last evening. The Dreaming Women Council, otherwise heretofore known as the DWC. We got some new hashtags. We've got some downloads, some collective downloads that between all of us are just, they're earth shattering. Like they really are. I firmly believe that this movement that we have created, we've been creating since November 6th. Now that I've had this meeting last night, this is going to change the world. This here is what they call a evolution. That's what they call it. So stay with me. This is going to be a long one. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. Do what you got to do. And yeah, settle in. Okay, so yesterday, as many of you know, because you wished me happy birthday, was my birthday, my 52nd. So a day of great contemplation, a day of, just feeling great reading these messages. You are all so incredible. I felt the love so deeply. At the same time, I was feeling this mix of muddy feelings, like a sense of responsibility for people, like feeling like, again, as I've said in previous posts, that I've led you down the garden path inadvertently. How could I be so wrong? How could we all be so wrong? What is happening here? I feel like I'm living in two different timelines. What is going on? So I took a walk with my pup in the early evening, and I started asking questions. I knew I had some earlier downloads, like this is how they fall. Remember that one? The Dreaming Women is how they fall. I know it. I just don't know how. And I also don't know how I could have got things so wrong. And how could all these women who are amazing at what they do have got the same stuff and got it wrong? So then I started thinking, I felt more than I thought. This is like two different timelines, but they're almost meshed, but not quite. It's almost like a gauzy curtain, and we're seeing that other timeline. And not everybody here is. Those on the 3D aren't seeing it at all. But we're seeing this world that is almost meshed with ours, with some very critical differences, which I'll get to. So then, yes, Spirit was saying, yes, you're not exactly living in two different worlds. You're kind of right in that interspace. So I came back and drew a card just to be sure. Between two worlds is what, of course, came up. And then the work began. I had a bunch of downloads. I called Kate the Sarge 22 because she always sort of fills in the gaps for me. But actually, before I could call her, I noticed that she had a message saying, I got some downloads. Can we talk? So we talked. We came up with some really incredible, mind-blowing revelations. And of course, we called a meeting of the Council of Dreaming Women, because why wouldn't we? Gia Prism, Ethical Psychic, Jennifer Lisa Vest, as well as Spirituality with Sam. And I love these women. I love them so much. I love you so much. They all just got on this call. We were like, okay, we have figured it out. And so I know they will be sharing their own versions of this video, and we all, as you do, have our unique gifts to share. So we will all be kind of, I think, emphasizing different pieces of this. It's almost like we all painted a picture together, and we all had different parts of the picture that we were painting and illuminating. And it was absolutely beautiful. And what I really love is, one of the themes that came out was that stars, that thing that came out starting November 6th, right? We are the stars. We are the stars. And that just kept resonating. And of course, the patterns, with synchronicities, that is a message unto itself. The stars was definitely a theme. As soon as we all got off our call, Kate noticed that Jasmine Crockett in a speech yesterday was mentioning the stars. We are the stars. It was like, oh, so simple, this picture. It's been there in front of us all along, and we just never saw it. You know how I keep saying you have the power? Like, you actually, truly, tangibly do. And I am getting chills when I say this. So I'm going to say a name here and hope that it doesn't get me banned. But I have to say it once, and I think all of us have agreed we're going to say this once. The orange guy, he's a puppet. We know that. And we've been giving him too much of our attention. We know one person who's really had the power. And what we realized last night is that world, that timeline on the other side of the gauzy curtain has a guy named Elon without really any power at all. Maybe that Elon didn't get to buy that app, but he didn't have power. But in this ugly timeline, he has all the power, right? And what gives him all the power? Do you remember the Monsters, Inc. reference that I made and that Kate made, synchronicities, a couple of weeks ago or a week or so ago, what is time, where we said they harvest fear. But what we came to realize is, and Gia explains this so well, there's this almost centrifugal, vortex of not just fear, but anger, hate, just attention, negative attention, resentment, all the stuff that you have been feeling around this person, this Elon guy, feeds that negative energy. That is the darkness. The dark vortex gets bigger. It sweeps everything up in its path. Yeah? You feeling this? This is what we have been feeling in this timeline. Those predictions we had are happening in the other timeline, and we are about to hop over there. Do you know who makes the difference? Do you know who does that hop? You do. I do. We do. This is how they fall, okay? This is how they fall. No one is coming to save us. Lotus, let's shelve her right now. She's doing her own thing. Hey, she might even be one of us. Who knows? We have work to do. We are going to, heretofore, start, I love this heretofore, because this is so historical, right? We are going to be equipping you or helping remind you, and you are going to be helping us, all of us, with your own videos. We're going to be equipping you with tools for your toolkit. This leadership toolkit, whatever you want to call it, you've got your toolkit. We all have our own, preferences and abilities and talents. So you use the tools that really resonate with you. If that is protesting and your vibe can stay high, fantastic. Sam is going to explain to you about what it really, truly, tangibly means to raise your vibe and what it will do for the collective, which is just so exciting. I know, I'm really excited. I'm really passionate about this. So I know, again, all of us are going to be sharing our own unique offerings here. What I will say is what keeps coming up for me is that the brighter we shine, the more the darkness goes away, right? Think about it that way. That muck of that vortex of yucky stuff, we can shine a light on it and the light diminishes the darkness. But here's something else we can do, and we're going to be talking a lot about this. Gray rocking. Kate mentioned it. I know the concept, but I didn't know it was called gray rocking. We gray rock, okay? What does that mean? Well, if you've ever been, unfortunately, in a difficult relationship with a narcissist, an abuser, you know the thing they like the most, and that is your attention. Our attention, my attention, your attention. What happens when we starve that person, that entity, of our attention? What if we just block that and gave our attention to the light, to the vision that we have for the future? That will literally, this is universal law, that will, if enough of us do this, that will completely diminish the power. He will literally have no power. What do you have to lose? Why don't you try it? So that is just one tool for the toolkit, and I want you to write yours in the comments. What can we do to shine our light? What are you doing to shine your light? And I encourage you to use the same hashtags I am using and put them in your own posts, explaining what you do, how you are shining your light, how you are diminishing the darkness, how you are able to successfully gray rock him, them, that. So as we close in on 10 minutes, I will say that many of us are going to be doing meditations. We're suggesting that to spread the light, do your meditation at either 6 a.m., noon, or 6 p.m. your local time, okay? So you will feel the energy of all of us doing it. I have a feeling a lot of us will be doing this at noon our own time. So that is one thing you can do. I know that Spirituality with Sam has a free meditation Saturday. I'm going to be there. Are you? Let's get this party started, because now we rise.